Okay, everyone, I think we'll start on time. We have a full program, so thank you for joining us. My name's Adrian Stanley. I'm the moderator and sort of intro person to this session. So I think we've set ourselves a fairly broad goal of what it means to be a truly global organization. So this is the first slide that I think we're just trying to really put things in perspective. You're around here. But really, what we're saying is it is all about different perspectives and different ways organizations think about being global. So we've got 4 expert panels who are going to give very different opinions and ways they see how publishers can be more global. Just to start off, though, I'm very lucky that 2 of the other panel, Norman Frankel and David Sampson, worked with me. I'm on the SSP board, and SSP set itself a strategic objective when it was looking at itself as what SSP is. And one of the very sort of key things that came out of a number of surveys and discussions with members and board was trying to be more global. So SSP has framed a strategic initiative that as a board we work to, and this is the ability to attract and support international members and to be the trusted source of information and knowledge for and from these global constituents. So I think that's a very important point we want to sort of put in this session here, really, that it's not just about how you're outreaching and selling globally, it's how information comes forward. And I'm going to just show a few highlights of what our task force first did at SSP. So hopefully you as an SSP member, if your members can see what SSP is trying to do to serve you. I would also say it was a very, I think, interesting exercise to work and look at how SSP is more global. I'm used to working with publishers, helping them understand how to understand markets in Asia and China and Brazil, but when you took it back to what SSP is doing, I think there was a lot of additional learning. So we've done a year in the task force, sort of making some recommendations to SSP. We've just been charged now with the second year to help implement some of these recommendations. So I'm just giving you some quick highlights here of what we as a task force and group of publishers thought about SSP first. So first of all, it's important, to do more detailed market analysis before you decide to be, how can we be more global? SSP is about 1,050 members right now, of which 10% are global. When you actually break that down, 7.5% of the global or international members come from Canada and the UK. So SSP was calling itself North American. So there's really only 2.5% of members of SSP right now, and the membership and attendance at the annual meeting is mapping around the same. So better understanding of what the member benefits are, why people want to come to SSP and what are the reasons, and internationally why. There's a number of sort of operations SSP has with sister organizations around the globe, and one of the things we found is that SSP, probably similar to a publishing organization, has many different committees and silos and ways it organizes itself. And one of the things we did as a task force was try to sort of harmonize across how SSP can be more global. Certainly, there's some very simple things, that SSP can do to help attract to international attendees. Marketing earlier to allow for visas, travel, funding. 3 months out is not long enough to get international members coming. Develop marketing material that is going to be attractive to, why should people come? One of the things I've seen a number of organizations do more now is also have overseas meetings and to try and foster deeper collaboration and relationships. So again, SSP is considering this. There are a number of known networks overseas too. A lot of big publishers are members of SSP, and they have global offices. So how can that be utilized better within SSP? And one of the key things we think is important is when the programming for annual meeting and education is to have international people there. So any of you in the room who are interested in volunteering and working with SSP on an international basis or program planning, we'd encourage you to sort of volunteer with SSP. I think one thing that's also key, we just want to get across and show things is it's good to think globally, but to do that really well, you need to also act locally. So there are ways the panel are going to go through and show how you can be local and global. That was a sort of key ethos we had. There's a couple of examples here. These are perhaps a little more radical for you, but this is one of the Harvard Business Review blogs where the CEO of the Starwood Hotels moved his whole executive team to China for a month to experience, and he's moving them to Dubai for a month and really pushing people to be in different cultures. So there are more radical ways you can think to be global. There are also a lot of simpler ways you as publishers can do this. There are delegations and tours. Our company do one every year to China. I know that the Kaufman Wills consultants do one to India. People go to Frankfurt Book Fair. So there are a lot of ways where you can get together with your peers and see what happens internationally. I would say everybody I've known who's been on an Asia-China tour comes back with a lot more experience and ideas and ways to work. It's one thing to listen to somebody tell you how to do business internationally, but when you go and see, you really do sort of get a different experience. I think there's also ways as publishers you can do more at your own annual meetings. One of the things our task force found is that, you know, as people are coming over to visit and be part of your meetings, set up whether it's mentor programs, little sub-meetings. Norm Frankel here has done a wonderful job with our Japanese attendees for SSP, and I think in making them feel welcome. You know, I think there's opportunities you can do there, and the same, you have author subscriber bases. Consider ways you can reach out to them and understand what's important to them. But that's my very quick summary and setup for what we're trying to achieve here.